Hey everyone, ready to unleash your inner beast.
Sounds fun.
Today we're diving deep into some seriously killer Feral Druid tactics for PvP in World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, Feral Druids.
We're going to break down PvPXTV's guide, Feral Druid Talents and Macros Guide. It's like having a pro's playbook.
I've heard of PvPXTV.
They're known for their aggressive, almost ruthless approach.
Yeah, their guide uses words like obliterate and sacrifice.
Definitely sets the stage for some intense gameplay.
It does.
But before we get into the specifics, can you quickly explain what a Feral Druid is for anyone who might be new to World of Warcraft?
Absolutely. Feral Druids are shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters, huh?
Yeah, they can turn into a bear for defense, but their real power in PvP comes from their cat form.
So like a nimble predator.
Yeah, built for delivering massive damage.
Okay, so we've got this shape-shifting damage dealer. PvPXTV's guide jumps right into their talent choices. What's interesting is their focus on single-target damage. They're not messing around with spreading damage. It's all about taking down one enemy at a time.
Interesting. Why do you think they've gone all in on this approach?
In PvP, eliminating high-value targets quickly can disrupt the enemy team's strategy.
I see, like taking out their healer.
Exactly, before they can even react. And they even provide the exact talent code.
Oh wow, so you can just copy and paste it into the game.
Yeah, talk about a cheat sheet.
Not cheating, just learning from the best.
True.
The code is CCGABV QGXEXEMSEMCXEMAA ETIEMMMS2X MAEGDCAAXEMMCEA MLCMMCAAX JMGAASC EPLEMMLESG FCE EPIA JBAX MBMCAA MSMMZMCA UPGSCA AASMMSDA AUGSTAA Cobra TSAMEZEZACAAGA8 if you want to try it out.
Okay, cool. But what really stood out to me were PvPXTV's macros.
Macros.
They're like mini programs that let you execute complex combos with a single button press. Can you break down what these macros do and why they're so essential to their playstyle?
Sure. In PvP, where fractions of a second matter, macros can be really powerful. PvPXTV uses 3 main macros.
3?
Yeah. One for generating combo points.
Okay.
One for spending them. And a third for maximizing burst damage.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is.
Maybe we should start by explaining what combo points are, for those who aren't familiar.
Yeah, good idea. Combo points are like a resource that Feral Druids build up with certain abilities.
Like fuel for their attack?
Exactly. The more combo points you have, the more powerful your finishing moves will be.
So PvPXTV's first macro, called Combo Point Generation, uses a sequence of Rake and Shred.
Rake and Shred.
Yeah, it maximizes both damage and combo point buildup.
And they even have a reset function built into the macro.
Right, you have 5 seconds to stay in the combo sequence before it automatically resets.
Clever. I like that.
They've also incorporated modifier keys like Alt, Control, and Shift.
Oh wow, that's getting pretty advanced.
Yeah, you can weave in Swipe, which hits multiple targets if you need to.
So it's adaptable depending on the situation.
Exactly. What's really fascinating is their choice of Rake and Shred.
Why are those so important?
Well, Rake applies a bleed over time for consistent damage, and Shred provides burst damage potential.
So they're maximizing both consistent and burst damage at the same time.
Precisely. And by weaving those two together in a specific order, they maximize their combo point generation as well.
Makes sense. Okay, so now we've got a macro for generating combo points. What about the combo point spending macro?
This one is all about unleashing those hard-earned combo points for maximum damage.
How so?
It uses Rip and Ferocious Bite.
Powerful finishing moves.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more strategic.
Go on.
They've woven in Tiger's Fury.
Tiger's Fury.
It's a cooldown that boosts damage output even further.
So they're squeezing every bit of damage they can out of those combo points.
Exactly. And just like with the first macro, they've included modifier keys to weave in Thrash.
Thrash!
Yeah, it's great for hitting multiple targets in close range.
So adaptable. They really have thought of everything.
I know, it's crazy, right? They've anticipated every possible combat scenario.
It seems so. I'm eager to hear about this third macro, the damage boost macro.
Me too. It sounds absolutely insane. Yes. Macro is designed to unleash a ton of damage in a single burst.
Wow. How does it work?
It starts with Mighty Bash, a stun that locks down the target.
Okay.
Then it chains together a series of cooldowns and abilities. Adaptive Swarm, Feral Frenzy, Ferocious Bite, Berserk, and even Prowl.
Prowl. Why would you want to use Prowl going stealth in the middle of a damage combo.
That's what makes this macro so brilliant.
Yeah.
Prowl lets the Feral Druid vanish for a moment, potentially resetting the engagement or creating an opening for a surprise attack.
Ah, a mind game.
Exactly. Keeps the opponent guessing.
Wow, that's next level.
So the damage boost macro is like their ultimate nuke, but it also has this element of tactical surprise.
And they even provide the code for all 3 macros so you can try them yourself.
I'm dying to see these codes. What are they?
All right, here's the code for combo point spending, #show tooltip.
Scalar's Thrash, modifier.shift thrash, modifier.all thrash, no modifier set, 10 combat target rip, ferocious bite, cast combat tiger's fury.
Okay, that's pretty intense.
It is. And here's the damage boost macro, #show tooltip.
Ultra set, Mighty Bash, Temptive Swarm, Feral Frenzy, Ferocious Bite, Berserk, Prowl, Rake, no modifier maim, stop macro.cast maim.
These codes could be game changers.
Totally. But remember, it's not just about copying the code, it's about understanding the strategy behind it.
That's true. I'm still curious about the combo point spending macro and the choice to use Tiger's Fury. Can you talk more about why that's so effective?
Sure. Tiger's Fury is a key cooldown for Feral Druids.
I see.
It really increases their damage output, but only for a short time.
So the timing has to be perfect.
It does. By using it right before Rip and Ferocious Bite, PvPXTV maximizes their burst damage.
Like a strategic amplifier.
Exactly. They're not just using abilities, they're using them at the right moment.
It's about precision.
Absolutely. Understanding the nuances of your class and using every advantage.
That makes a lot of sense. We've uncovered some really powerful tactics already.
We have.
And we've only just scratched the surface of PvPXTV's guide.
I know, it's packed with information.
I'm ready to dive even deeper. What else have they got?
PvPXTV, they actually roleplay as this Feral Druid
Oh, right.
named Vaeyn.
Vaeyn.
It adds this whole other layer to their approach, They describe Vaeyn as having this cruel ambition,
Okay.
but also wanting to defend Azeroth.
Defend Azeroth, but with cruel ambition.
Right, but he doesn't want to wipe everyone out.
That's an interesting distinction.
Yeah, and it makes you think about the choices they make in the game, do they ever show mercy? Are there certain opponents they refuse to kill?
It adds a whole new level of depth.
It does.
Speaking of depth, PvPXTV talks about add-ons,
Add-ons.
but they don't really get into the specifics. It's like they're hinting at these secret weapons they use.
Yeah, add-ons can be a huge advantage in PvP.
Yeah, they give you so much extra information and control.
Right, like tracking enemy cooldowns.
Yeah, or knowing when they're vulnerable.
Or coordinating your team's positioning.
All that stuff is gold. So why do you think they're so secretive about it?
Well, it could be a competitive advantage.
Ah, like their secret sauce.
Yeah, maybe they found some unique combination of add-ons that gives them an edge,
Like a secret recipe for PvP domination.
Exactly.
Or maybe they're trying to encourage players to explore and find their own add-on setups.
That's a good point.
It's not about just giving you the answers.
Right.
It's about sparking curiosity.
You're encouraging players to experiment.
What advice would you give to someone who's just starting to explore add-ons for PvP?
I'd say start by thinking about what information you're missing.
What you need.
Yeah, are you struggling to track enemy cooldowns?
Okay.
Are you always getting caught out of position?
Right.
There's an add-on for almost everything.
It's like a toolbox of tactical gadgets.
It really is.
You just need to find the right ones for your playstyle.
Exactly. And there are so many resources available online.
Yeah.
Forums, websites, other players.
A whole community of people who love to optimize. So it's about finding your tribe, and learning from each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we've covered talents, macros, and add-ons.
The building blocks.
The core building blocks of PvPXTV's Feral Druid strategy.
Right.
But what about the actual combat? How do they approach a fight?
PvPXTV really emphasizes an aggressive, in-your-face style.
Really?
Yeah, they use the Feral Druid's mobility and burst damage to control the fight.
So they're not playing defensively at all.
Not really.
It's like they're always on the offensive.
Yeah, always pressing the attack.
Wow, that's interesting.
And their talents and macros really support that style. They're built for quick bursts of damage.
Not sustained damage.
Exactly.
So it's about choosing your moments carefully.
Yeah, striking when the enemy is vulnerable.
And disappearing before they can retaliate.
That's where stealth comes in.
Prowl.
Yeah, they use it not just as an escape tool,
Okay.
but also to set up ambushes.
So they're controlling the flow of the fight.
They are.
It's like they're the predator,
Yep, lurking in the shadows.
waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Exactly.
And they're constantly adapting. using their shape-shifting abilities to gain an advantage.
They also emphasize using line of sight.
Line of sight.
It's about using the environment to your advantage.
Like finding cover.
Yeah, or breaking the enemy's line of attack.
So if you're fighting a ranged opponent, you could duck behind a pillar
Exactly.
to avoid their spells.
Or you could use a hill to break line of sight and escape.
Ah, I see.
It's about being aware of your surrounding.
And using them to your advantage.
Precisely.
So it's not just about what abilities you have,
It's about how you use them.
in conjunction with the environment.
Exactly, and PvPXTV is a master at this.
Really?
Yeah, they're always thinking ahead,
Wow.
anticipating their opponent's moves
Using every tool they have.
to gain an edge.
It's like playing 3D chess, but with claws and teeth.
Ah, I like that analogy.
PvPXTV also talks about controlling the enemy healer.
The healer.
Yeah, why is that so crucial in PvP?
The healer is like the backbone of any team.
Okay.
They keep their allies alive.
Right,
By focusing on the healer, you're basically crippling the enemy team.
like cutting off their lifeline.
Exactly.
If the healer goes down, the rest of the team is much more vulnerable.
Exactly, and Feral Druids have a lot of tools for disrupting healers.
Like what?
Stuns, snares, even a fear ability.
A fear ability, wow.
It can take a healer out of the fight completely.
So it's not just about brute force, it's about strategy
Yeah, targeting the key players.
and communication with your team.
Absolutely. You need to coordinate your attacks.
Focus fire on the healer.
Capitalize on any opening.
That's like a well-oiled machine.